The Balanced Deceiver. Start with your hook and your vise. Start your thread right behind the 90-degree bend on the hook and wrap back before cutting the tag end of your thread off. Build up a nice base at the front of the hook. Then take a straight pin, and with the butt of it facing over the bend, go ahead and leave a length about the fish skull's length over the bend, and tie it straight on top of the hook. I like to coat this section with some Sally Hansen's so that it won't rotate around the hook in the future of the tying process. Then bring your thread back to the bend, leaving a nice thread base. Go to some saddle hackle, here in white. Find 4 nice webby feathers and match them up. Then, with 2 of them, align their tips, making sure that both of the concave sides are facing the same way, and then do the same to the other one. Now, push them together, and with about 3 inches in length, strip the rest of the fuzzies off of the stem. With about 1 inch of bare stem, cut the rest of the junk off clean. Go to your hook. Now, take one of the sections with the concave going away or towards you and tie them on the far side of the hook. Then do the same with the other, but this time the concave facing away from you, so the 2 pieces of feathers face each other and make a nice straight tail. Then go to some crystal flash. Pick out 2 sections. Align their tips. Then, once aligned, go ahead and fold those 2 sections in half. Then, with those 2 folded in half, fold them again over your thread and tie them at the back of the hook. Bring 1 section to each side of the tail. Then, bring them up and cut them just a little bit longer than the feather tail. Bring your thread just in front of the tail. Now go to some white bucktail. Cut a clump about a pencil in width in the middle of the tail. Cut it straight right next to the hide. Strip out all the fuzzies and roughly align all the fibers. Now, on the far side, bring the clump with the tips facing towards the bend, and they should reach about halfway down the tail. Tie them down, kind of splaying them out, and then cut the rest of the butts off clean. Now, go to another bunch and tie them on the near side. Again, stripping out all the fuzzies. As you're tying them down, splay them out around the hook shank. That way, it'll create a nice full body around the hook. Now jump your thread to just in front of the butts. The leftover butts will help splay out the next section of bucktail. This time, let the tips of the clump just reach shy of the back tips of the first section of bucktail. This will help create a nice tapered body. Then, once this section, jump up again. Continue this process all the way up to the bend of the hook. You should get about 4 sections. Then once you reach the hook, go over and tie your thread down straight on the bare straight pin. Build up a nice thread base. Now go to some colored bucktail, here in kind of orangish peach. And again, cut a section about a pencil in width and strip out all the fuzzies and roughly align the tips. Now do the same process as you did to the white. Again, reaching just barely shy of the previous tips. The hook guy may get in a little away, so you may need to add another section right on top of those two sections to cover the top of the hook. Then, once those are good and secure, go ahead, take a couple more wraps of thread before whip finishing your thread off and cutting your thread off close. Put a drop of super glue on, and then with the fish skull, with the thick part facing up, slide it over the straight pin and push it down onto the deer hair. The round edge of it should reach back behind the eye. Now take thread wraps in front of the head on a straight pin to push it back and secure it in place. Then go ahead and whip finish your thread off and cut it. Then place a dot of UV cure resin on one of the eye slits. And place an eye right there too. And then give it a quick cure with a flashlight. Do the same to the far side. And then go ahead and give that a cure. And that's it, that's the fly.